when we're doing this, top hand, bottom hand, guys always want to try to crush the baseball. That's not the idea. We're trying to stay simple, work our path, be super smooth, and get into a good position, a tight swing every time. Also use the short bat for two-hand. I love short bat for two-hand. For one thing, it gives the hitter immediate feedback. If you don't stay through the baseball and get your perfect extension every time, it's going to give you the feedback right away the ball is. You're going to get your top spin or you're going to get your flare. So being able to stay through the baseball is a huge factor, especially when we're adjusting or we're fooled out front with a breaking ball. By staying through the baseball as long as we can, we give ourselves a chance to get ahead. Same way, short bat with a low tee walkthrough. I love the walkthrough drill because it creates rhythm in the hitter and it keeps your direction through this big part of the field. No side-to-side rotation. And the one thing that we're looking for, yes, we're looking for direction through the middle. I want low ball flight that takes off like a rocket. I don't want balls in the top of the cage. I want the ball to take off with backspin because it means we're taking a super tight swing. We're staying through the baseball. Other thing I'm looking for here is the back knee. I'm looking for the back knee to drive into the ground. We're staying underneath the baseball with a flat swing. That's how we elevate it, and that's how we get it off the ground, not by swinging uphill. Same way with the regular bat. Oftentimes with the short bat, guys will get away from their bodies and they can create some bad habits with that. So that's something you have to pay a very close attention to. But as soon as we go through that with the short bat, we grab the long bat so they understand where their body needs to organize and with their posture. Flamingo drill. This is one of my favorite drills for get right. Usually guys that are not feeling great, they're feeling rushed, they're not getting into a good separated position to attack the baseball. This slows everything down and allows for a good stretch. Luke's a little rough here with this, but he's getting better at it. Creates balance, getting into that back hip and being able to control that back hip all the way through our swing and not getting out of it too quick. Long bat, another one of the axe bats that I love. This is something not only that builds bat speed, but it's also a little bit longer in length. We used to use them back in the day with fungos. Same concept, but this has a little bit more weight behind it, having to pull your hands through. A lot of the younger hitters won't quite understand that. They'll be hitting it off the bottom of the bat. The long bat forces them to pull their hands through to get it on the sweet spot with immediate feedback. Two-T extension. This is my number one go-to when a hitter doesn't feel right. When they're mental, they're swinging and missing, they're all over the place, they're fouling balls off in BP, they're pulling them 400 feet into the parking lot. This is something that zeroes you in to what we're trying to do. We're trying to stay tight and we're trying to stay direct. So he's hitting the ball off of the tee about 10 feet out in front and you can go. As the hitter's younger, you might bring it closer so they can get a little bit closer feedback. And as they get better at it, you can move the tee further, raise it up a little bit higher so they can get the good backspin. But it keeps their tunnel and their focus through the middle of the field that will get their swing back tight and it'll get their swing back game ready. So the first one here, Luke, it's pretty close to it, but it's still got a little bit of top spin. The next one, it's not close to it, but you're getting a benefit of a good tight swing. You drove that with backspin in the top left corner of the cage, which is a great swing. The more that you do that, the more honed in and tight you are, you're going to get more swings that are backspin through the middle part of the field instead of in the sides of the cages. Another one I'm sure a lot of people have seen before, very simple. Guy that's casting his hands out, getting over rotational, just forcing them to stay tight and stay direct through the middle of the field. Have to pull the barrel in so you don't clip the other tee. Favorite drill for hitting the inside pitch. So oftentimes younger hitters, when you get to it, they're over rotational. They think to hit to the pull side, they have to step in the bucket, they have to spin their shoulders out and get the barrel out. No. This allows you to stay super tight with what we're trying to do, but it also gives you a visual of the ball flight, so you understand if the ball is backspun or if it's side spun into the side of the cage. We do this in TE work, we do this in flip work, and we do this in machine work. We'll crank up the velo, but it creates that good direction, that good short tight swing where they're pulling their hands inside and getting through the baseball. Same way, we'll do it away for the away pitch. So oftentimes guys will get that slice spin that they don't quite understand. They think they're hitting the ball right because it's going in that direction, but they're not actually driving it with backspin. So this is just a visual for them to understand it. Five by five. This is a drill I got from Damien Easley when I was rehabbing in 2014. It's a drill that really helped me with my consistency as a hitter. Basically, this is a short example of the video, but what it is you set the ball up wherever you want in the 3 spots. You can do it in any order that you want, but you've got to hit 5 backspin balls straight in the back of the net, 5 backspin balls in the pull side left corner, and then 5 backspin balls in the opposite corner in a row. If you mess up or if you miss hit one of them, you got to go all the way back to the start. Oftentimes it'll lead to about 50 swings, and it may get to too much. Say, hey, maybe today's not the day. Let's continue to build on that, but work into it. And the more that you do that, the more consistent a guy will get. I'll do this with a lot of guys that have inconsistent swings, and they can't repeat it. Most of the older guys can sit there and they can do that. They may mess up 1 or 2, but they'll get in a habit where they know how to organize their body and stay simple to get through the drill. And it's repeatable, and it gives you barrel awareness, it gives you barrel contact every single time to understand what you're doing and not realizing that you have to get huge to try to drive the baseball. If you stay tight, you stay simple, you're getting the feedback, and once you get into the game, your adrenaline's already going, you're already naturally going to be bigger, but you're going to be able to stay tight and consistent. Another one, do this in different varieties. With guys that are drifting, they can't control their back hip. This is another go-to drill when a guy's struggling a little bit, his body doesn't feel right. Oftentimes it's we're trying to do too much. So this is something that keeps their body behind the baseball, making good contact behind the baseball, and prevents them from jumping off their back hip and not controlling it all the way through the swing. Deeper and deeper tee. Love this, especially for younger guys coming in that don't truly know how to drive the baseball the other way. So we can start it anywhere, middle, away, starting it out front, inching it back as we continue to drive the baseball. We move the tee back, we move the tee back. Allows guys to stay behind the baseball at contact, be able to get a good tilt in their swing and drive the baseball. This is just one example of a swing, but as Luke, he would continue to move it back to allow himself to stay behind the ball. Another one, guys that can't control their back hip, core velocity belt, love this. Allows guys to really understand their body, it's pulling him forward. How can we force ourselves to stay back, stay engaged in that hip, and allow us to get our best swing off? Tight tee. A lot of guys, same way, same concept. We're trying to take a tight swing. Often guys that are in a funk, they're casting their hands out, they're not getting getting to a good position to hit. It's basically putting it in right close to your front knee. Often guys will have to start it out front because you'll get guys that'll try to chicken wing it. But being able to understand it, as you get better, you can move the tee low, high. This is something that our guys do pretty consistently every day. Rapid 6 ball. So 6 baseballs in a row. We're working on bat path and barrel awareness, barrel consistency. So this just gives guys feedback of their direction of their bat path and how they've got to organize their body quickly in order to repeat it. Ortiz drill. Got this from Louis Ortiz, who's a Boston Red Sox assistant hitting coach right now. Another drill for guys that a little bit stiff in their swing. Can't get the barrel to the baseball. They have a one plane swing where they can crush a ball in one spot, but they can't quite get to other ones. So this is a drill where I'm throwing the baseball all over, way out of the strike zone. Doesn't matter what your body does. All we're thinking about is getting the barrel to the baseball. It frees your hitter up and allows them to hit more athletically. Angle, love angle. We do it with flips, we do it in BP, we do it in machine. Another way to stay tight and stay direct. I love the Oppo angle specifically because it forces guys to keep their chest on the baseball and not get over rotational with their front side. It keeps good direction. We're looking for a ball driven right back through the machine or whoever's flipping, right back through their face, right back through the middle of the field with backspin. Another thing we moved to a War Stick school. They had a War Stick sponsorship. They have skinny bats. So this is something that Luke uses every single day. We have other guys, Trevor Austin, who'll use it for one-handed drills. Miguel Cabrera uses it for his short bat. Obviously, he's a big guy and can handle that really well. But it's something that's skinnier. It forces you to square the baseball up, stay flat through your swing, and it gives you immediate feedback whether you're squaring up the baseball or not. I like to use it with the pink plyos from Driveline because it forces you obviously to square it up and you get immediate feedback. When you see those, you see the frisbees, we're not squaring it up right, we're not driving it the way we want to. Also builds strength and acceleration through the baseball. Here's the colored baseballs that I was talking about. That's the type of take we're looking. Biggest pet peeve for me is lazy takes. It means we're not ready. We have an every pitch mentality. Ready every single pitch, not giving any pitches away. When I'm looking for a good take, I'm looking for that body to fire and be able to hold and stop. Another 4-plate drill. Use this with machines very often. Working adjustability, velocity. The balls start low as you get further and further. The ball gets a little bit more life to it, a little bit more velo, so it's training hitters to be able to be on time. And how do we gather our body to be on time for different pitches? Notice Luke here, good swing, then he'll have a little bit of a bad swing, trying to adjust to the speed and tempo. Getting back to it and understanding. And then all the way back to the first plate. Almost emulates like an off-speed pitch. We're going to be a little bit out front. You notice Luke stays directional here and drives a homer in the pull side gap. Bounce drill. Another one for guys that can't control their back hip. Emulating an off-speed pitch. We'll do it in different situations where I want them in a fastball timing and holding that stretch position, allowing the ball to travel in the zone and attack it. We'll also do it as sitting on off speed, being able to sit back and wait and drive that pitch. Slowed this one down a little bit, but this is a 2-ball drill. I put a pause in between each drop just so you can get the idea of it, but what we're looking for is drop, drop, and we're yelling 1 or 2. He's got to be on time to that 1 and be able to adjust to the 2-ball. Hold, attack. Being able to adjust to off-speed pitches. Height ladder, another one we do with machine. Forces guys to stay locked in every single pitch, stay locked into the strike zone that we're trying to train. Basically what we're doing here is we've got a fastball down the middle, and that the person, whoever's feeding, crank the machine up, crank the machine down in pitches, give it a fake crank to try to mess with the hitter's head. That way we're not guessing, we're staying locked into the spot we're looking for. The other thing here, last one here, zone hitting. So kind of the whole concept of what we're talking about, the 7-ball zones. Staying locked in. What our guys are doing here is they're, number one, first executing the swing. Then they're verbally calling out what zone it is. The person behind them is holding them accountable to be able to understand exactly where they're at in the zone. Thank you guys again. I appreciate your time. I appreciate